So I felt compelled. I'm posting a video right now. Like I said, I watched Apocalypto, directed by Mel Gibson, which was 2006 movie. And the meaning behind it is so powerful. It really is. And it boggles my mind how many movies series that they put out, like Supernatural and The Witcher, and like movies like this that are literally blatantly what's happening in front of our eyes. Like straight up. Like you have to understand that our world, our nation is being consumed by Satan in different ways. Like you just have to recognize that. I mean, and again, you know, whether you recognize it or you don't, it doesn't take away the fact that it's happening, right? And so, like I was telling my girlfriends tonight, like it's just, I am at such a place in my purpose, in my calling, that like I'm just not at a place where I'm going to sit back and keep giving a green light to people being evil, to people loving with conditions, to people lying, to people doing really, really bad things, to getting a green light to corruption. Oh, that's just corruption surrounds us. That's just how they are. Oh, okay. So that just makes it okay? Like, no, at that point, we're becoming cowards. If we find ourselves on the fence of saying things like that, and you have to think, like, it is our duty as parents, as adults, to set the tone and set a better landscape and foundation for our children. And if we don't stand up to this, I mean, my golly, so anyways, again, I know that I'm different. I know I don't expect everybody to be the same way as me. I love everybody just the way they are. And I would really greatly appreciate if people love me, but I understand they're not going to. And I'm okay with that as well. But it's just not my job to just sit back. Like, I just can't. And that was all by the grace of God and everything that He's forged me through and part of my awakening. Like, these are all things that I've walked through my entire life. Like, I mean, again, throughout all my connection of my dots, like, God has been with me my entire life, like, straight up. And nobody can tell me otherwise. When you just connect with yourself and you connect with God, you know what you know. You know what you know and you feel what you feel. And nobody can take that away from you. As much as they try to spoon feed you and breadcrumb feed you to where they can take your heart and harden your heart and bitter your soul and warp your mind. Like, you just won't allow it. It's just, God won't allow it. God won't allow it. And so that said, so the beginning of it, a great civilization is not conquered from without until it has destroyed itself from within. The saying sets the tone for the entire film, and spiritually, it's a warning that collapse is almost never purely the result of the outside invaders. It's not. Moral decay before physical fall. No matter how powerful a system appears, corruption, greed, cruelty erode it from the inside. It all starts from the inside. When the foundation is compromised, it takes very little external pressure to topple it. When the foundation is compromised, which it has been compromised for years, basically we're watching it unfold where it's toppling over. Like the distraction, the deflections, the manipulation, the gaslighting, like it's getting to be where it's like they're literally just like laughing in our faces. Inward corruption as a weakness. In Apocalypto, the Mayan civilization isn't destroyed solely by Spanish conquest. It's already crumbling due to overconsumption, slavery, and ritualized violence. Ritualized violence. Not only are they ritualizing violence in our world in different ways, they're redacting our freedom of speech, our freedom of thought, our freedom of love, to love who we want, be with who they want. We don't live in a free nation. It's freaking nuts. Spiritually, the same happens in any kingdom when leaders oppress instead of serve. The structure is spiritually condemned, meaning they over-impress themselves, their wants, their desires, their pockets, their greed, their power. They're not thinking about humanity as a whole, but they're thinking about themselves and their tunnel vision. You know, my girlfriend said, if you and I ran this country, it would crumble. I don't know about that. I beg to differ. I'm like, I don't know about that. I said, they're not doing a great job now. They're not doing a great job now. So I'm not saying I'd run it better by any means, and I have zero desire to take that job. I definitely do not, by any means. It's not, I don't carry the stomach or the heart for it, but if I can slice some heart into the tippity top, I'm here for it. That's what we've lost, is the heart and soul and the meaning of purpose and generosity and grace and mercy. We don't have that. We don't have that in the politics, and that is what is missing. Let's see here. Parallels in modern systems. Governments, corporations, even social media platforms collapse when they suppress truth, exploit the vulnerable, and prioritize power over morality. That's the biggest thing. Prioritizing power over morality. Like, where is your morals? And so I felt very compelled to share there's a lot of other different tactics. Oppressors believe they are untouchable until an expected force, divine timing, and personal resilience upends them. That part. See, I wasn't supposed to be here today. I've got a lot of people, confused. I wasn't supposed to be here today. But God wanted them to think that. God wanted them to think that. God wanted me to think that. Shoot, I question it too every day. I'm along right there side with you guys. I'm like, I'll be doing this sometimes too. I'm just like, knowing all the stuff I do know and how much I have overcome. Like I told my girlfriends, I shared with them a little bit about my story. I don't talk a lot about it because I've always been somebody that internalizes and works through things within myself. So a lot of people are misconstrued because they're like, she doesn't look like what she's been through. Because I don't deflect. I don't project. I just take it on the chin, and that's something God's trained me for my entire life. I don't ever want people to feel the way that I've felt. I would never want to bestow that on anybody. Not even my worst enemy. I still pray for my enemies, my little lovers. I'm just not in the business for that. I don't care what you do. You could do anything and everything. It doesn't take my faith away. And because I'm here to make God happy, it's my duty to do right by him and do right by you. Whether you do right by me or not, that's nothing, that's not between you and I. My relationship between God and I and what I project into this world is my numero uno. And it should be everybody else's. And I get that it's not. And I get that it's not going to be everybody else's. But if me standing 10 toes down every day inspires people, well, then so be it. That's what we'll do. You know what I mean? The civilization thinks it's in control, but its cruelty accelerates its own fall. That's the thing. You get to a point where cruelty supersedes and it goes more and more and more, where it's just inhumane what they're doing. It starts to fall. And that's where we're at in my story. They kept going and going and going and going and going, and just more and more and more, just crazy stuff. Freaking nuts. 8/11 as I say that. And God kept telling them, stop. This is not a good idea. And they're like, I don't care. I refuse to stop because I'm just committed to just taking this person out. And so here we are. And it's one of those things, I hate it. It's not my favorite part of my walk to know that people hate me so much they want me dead. So, it's definitely not my favorite. I would prefer not, but I'm still going to pray and love them. It makes me feel better. It does. And so I hope this video resonated. If you haven't seen Apocalypto, you should go watch it. It's very, very interesting. But if you have a weak stomach, I wouldn't watch it. Man, there's so many times I had to get down on the ground. I always sit on the ground too when I get all ruffled and my anxiety, because it's just it was very hard for me to watch, because I know a lot of the depictions in the actual movie are different depictions. I know that has happened in real life decades and decades ago. And just to see the gruesomeness of it was hard for me to my heart, right? But as well as I know in this modern day that we are living right now, we are literally living the same thing in different ways. And they're even doing different things like that to the children and to some adults in different ways. And so it's it's hard. It's hard to watch a movie when it's literally showing you different things that are happening in your reality. And so it was one of those things there's but anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for the love and support.